And it's time to start assembling the engine. I have almost all the parts ready, just final touches on some of them, and then I'm gonna start assembling. Now that the cam cover is already painted, I can remove the old oil seal for the crankshaft and put a new one. As usual, I put some silicone on both sides of the gaskets to prevent any oil leaks. I used a wire hook to pull the chain tensioner on one side until I put the cover on. Then I put the crank pulley. Next the water pump goes on. The pulley for the water pump. Then the spark plugs. New oil filter. To be able to put the oil pan, I needed access underneath the engine, so I just hung it on the overhead crane. Again, I used some silicone gasket and silicone again, and the oil pan went in. I put the clutch. And then it was time for the exhaust and intake manifolds. The fan blade went in as a beautiful red accent piece. Then the distributor with a brand new distributor cap. Then I replaced the cracked valve cover with a brand new shiny one with brand new nuts. and cap. Next I put all the spark plug cables in place, and then I put the brand new alternator. As you remember, this engine was equipped with a generator originally, but I don't like generators. I have a bad experience in the past with generators, and I just don't trust them. That's why I decided to switch to alternator. As you may know, the generators are not designed to spin fast. That's why they have a big pulley in front, which makes them spin with a very slow speed. But unfortunately, this also doesn't allow them to produce enough power when the car is idling. The alternators, though, they are designed to spin as fast as you wish, almost, and that's why they are equipped with a small pulley on the shaft, and even in low RPMs they spin with enough speed so they can produce enough juice for all the accessories in the car to run normally, and still the battery gets charged. Plus, this one looks beautiful and it gives a final touch to my engine, so I'm happy about it, even though it's not original anymore. Now the only thing missing are the two carburetors with the air cleaners. They were cleaned inside so I can run the engine maybe 2 months ago, but outside they're still dirty and nasty, so next time I'm gonna clean the two carbs. I start with one and I keep the other one assembled as a reference, so if I get lost somewhere I still can look at the other one and just see how to assemble this one. I didn't mean to remove every single screw and spring and lever, but I kept thinking, yeah, let me just remove this nut and well, if I remove that spring it's not gonna hurt. And finally I ended up removing 99% of the parts from the car, but it was worth it because I even managed to take the body to the sink and literally wash it with soap and hot water, and I had access to almost every single groove and corner, and everything went well, and you will see at the end the results are fantastic. The parts that I could, I polished with the wire brush as usual. All the hardware, of course, got wire brushed. Well, basically this wire brush saved my life with this car. And then I went ahead and I assembled the whole carb. Of course I needed the reference carb all the time. Without it I wouldn't be able to assemble it, even though I disassembled it just half an hour before I started assembling. So yeah, it's good when you have two parts. You keep one assembled as reference and then you work on the other one. And at the end, even though this video is with not so good quality, you can see the difference between the cleaned carb and the one that is still with all the grease and dust on it. Then I did the same thing with the other carb, and I mounted them both in the intake manifold. And then, as a final touch, I mounted the two air cleaners that are made out of stainless steel, and that gave the engine a gorgeous look. I really like it. They just bolt directly to the carbs, and the actual air cleaners remain exposed. They are also washable, so this is a really nice feature because they are supposedly reusable. You just take them out, wash them, dry them, and put them back on. Usually I don't do that, but this time I like the engine so much that I couldn't help it, and I took some pictures for Facebook. And that's it, the engine is ready. When the rest of the car is ready, it's gonna just drop in place. Yeah, that's me. Well, that's it for now, guys, and I'll see you in my next video when I'm gonna start assembling the frame with the suspension and everything else. See ya.